Enemies of the Mind by Phra Paisal Visalo, narrated by Usawadi Sintusen. According to the Buddha, there are 4 very good friends who help each other and also are very helpful to us. They are mindfulness, sati, awareness, sampachanya, concentration, samadhi, and wisdom, panya. If you are skillful, you can use these 4 friends or these 4 virtues to handle a disturbed mind or distracted thoughts. You have already been introduced to mindfulness and awareness and know how to deal with distracted thoughts or emotions. Once these thoughts are recognized by our awareness, they just fade away. It is as if you come face to face with a burglar about to steal something from your house. When you see him, he becomes frightened and disappears. Or it is like a dog. Suppose we visit a friend's house and his dog is barking and going to bite us. If we just call out the name of the dog, it will stop. This is how mindfulness and awareness work together to keep you from being attacked or hurt by distracted thoughts. Yet, sometimes the burglar is very big and you are very small. You saw him face to face, but he just knocked you down. So, if the thoughts are very powerful and your mindfulness is still weak, it is not appropriate for your mindfulness to face such powerful thoughts. It is better for you to turn your back on these thoughts and ignore them. This will be helpful for beginners. That's why Luangpor, my teacher, suggests that in the beginning stage, you just be aware of your body and do not pay much attention to your thoughts. Ignore all thoughts, feelings, emotions, and just pay attention to your body. In some situations, concentration may be necessary for us to handle powerful thoughts or emotions. Concentration in this case means fixing our mind on something that can turn our attention from distracted thoughts. Normally, object of concentration we prefer is attractive to our mind. For example, if you get angry and want to get rid of the anger, you may find it easy to turn your mind or your attention from anger to music, toys, or whatever gives you pleasure. If you are attentive enough to the object that you have chosen, a few minutes or a few hours later, you'll find that the anger has disappeared. Anger, like any emotion or thought, is like fire. It needs fuel. Normally, it is sustained because we ourselves keep adding fuel to the fire so it keeps burning. If we turn our attention to something else, or we do not put firewood into the fire will be extinguished because there is no wood to consume. Yet, in reality, we cannot depend on music or something external to us all the time, because anger can take place anywhere, anytime, in your home, in your office, in the subway, or during a conversation. So, we need to depend on ourselves by choosing what we already have as objects for concentration. That is why you should use the breath or your body's movement as the object of meditation. When you feel disturbed by thoughts or emotions, you just turn your mind back to the breath or your body's movement. Gradually, the thoughts or disturbing emotions will disappear. In the beginning, the breath or your body's movement is not powerful enough to attract your mind. It is less attractive than music, movies, sports, etc. Yet, if you practice enough, your mind will become familiar with the breath or your body's movement, and it can be in harmony or be as one with them more easily. The fourth friend is wisdom. This has a lot of meaning. When you become distracted by your thoughts and do not know how to deal with them, you may try to bargain with them. You may say to yourself, "Okay, I will talk with you later," or "I will think this thought later, but not now." You negotiate with them to bargain with the thoughts, saying, "After this retreat, I will recall you again, but not now." It's a technique you can use to reduce the thoughts. Normally, only the advanced practitioner can use wisdom to handle the thoughts, because it is a method that requires one to come face to face with one's thoughts and emotions. If your mindfulness is not powerful enough, your thoughts or emotions will just trap you or trick you, persuading you to fall into them. In Thailand, our masters have a practice of going into the forest alone. We call it Tudong. It means to live as an ascetic in the forest or in the cemetery. A lot of things may happen. Fear, the beast, tigers, or elephants can attack the practitioner. Many masters find that the fear or threat from the wild animals is a good instrument, a good condition, or a great situation to pressure them to develop concentration. Because if they turn their attention from the breath to the beast, they will be overwhelmed by fear. Because they are really afraid of the beast, their minds then will turn inward, and the concentration will be developed a lot. So masters use the threatening situation to force their minds to look inwards. This is a skillful and unusual way of developing concentration and mindfulness. One master, Ajahn Chah, tried to look into the fear to investigate it closely. When the powerful fear arose, he investigated the fear and asked himself, "What are you afraid of?" A voice replied, "I am afraid of death." Then he asked himself, "If you don't die today, won't you still die tomorrow?" Everybody has to die, today or tomorrow. He replied, "So why should I be afraid?" This enabled him to face death at that moment with peacefulness. Some masters in that situation just keep asking, "What am I afraid of?" Reply, "I am afraid of the tiger." Which part of the tiger are you afraid of? The tail, the ears, the eyes, the legs, or the claws? No, I'm not afraid of the tail, nor the ears, nor the eyes, nor the legs, nor the claws. So, what are you afraid of? I don't know. With such penetration by wisdom, fearful emotions just pass away. They do not use rationalization, but use an analytical mind to define the tiger parts, and after that, all the fear is gone. Luangpor said, if you have insights into body and mind, into the nature of body and mind, into the temporary state of body and mind, such insights will enable you to go through all problems, distraction, and negative emotions very easily. With a flash of insight, you can go right through them. You have no need of questions and answers. If you understand that these mental states are impermanent, unsatisfactory, and not self, the thoughts are there, but they are not me, they are not mine. You will become detached from them, and they will lose the power to tempt you. This is how wisdom works to solve problems. This is just a summary of how to use the different means to deal with the enemies of the mind. We are like warriors. We need to know many kinds of weapons to deal with our enemies. If you only know one weapon, it's not enough to handle different kinds of problems. In fact, a sense of humor can help you too. If you take any thought too seriously, you will get into trouble. But if you make fun of it or have a sense of humor, you feel more light-hearted. You can laugh at it. As Luangpor always said, laugh at your thoughts and tell yourself not to be crazy with them. That is also helpful. For example, when you are disturbed by the noise of a building construction, try to visualize the face of the man who is doing the job wearily and say to yourself, "Oh, what a poor man." Then we will have no hostility towards him, but rather pity him. Try to use various techniques or virtues for your own benefit and for your own spiritual practice. Nevertheless, we don't have to worry too much about the problems that we face, because when we have problems, we tend to be careful. It is when we are happy that we tend to be careless and drop our guards. Please be careful when you achieve some level of spiritual success, when you have insight, or when you attain the well-developed mindfulness. It is at that moment that you have to be very careful. There is a funny story in China. One day, during a talk like this in a temple, there was an earthquake. All the disciples ran away, but the master stayed still in his place, showing no sign of fear. The next day, after the chanting and the Dharma talk, there was questions and answers session. One student asked, "What is mindfulness?" The master replied, "Mindfulness is the ability to be calm in time of danger. For example, yesterday when there was an earthquake, I could stay still and drink water without showing any signs of fear. Did you see me tremble?" "No," one student answered. "You didn't drink water. You drank soy sauce." So, please be very careful with pride and conceit. They are very dangerous. Conceit is the last obstacle that only the Arahant can get rid of. So be careful.